How's it going, Diablo 2 fans? I'm Swish209. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. And today we're going to be talking about the diminishing return when it comes to magic finding, especially when completing the Holy Grail for set and unique items, as well as being able to give people a better idea as to how much magic find is going to be good for their characters when it comes to farming certain areas and why. And before we get into that, let's go ahead and do a comment shout out from a previous video. And this comes from Kurt Zeman, who states that he still prefers Last Wish over Grief. And that's awesome, dude. I'm glad that you like your Last Wish. I, again, still love my Last Wish when it comes to my Frenzy Barbarian. However, when it comes to multiple different builds in the game, I still say that Grief has a little bit more usage, even though my Frenzy Barbarian is always going to have Last Wish on hand to make sure that he survives in the harshest areas in the game, especially when it came to getting my torches, my Annies, and just being able to get him to level 99. He is always going to have Last Wish equipped to make sure that he is able to survive in the easiest way possible. So again, I still absolutely love Last Wish. With all that said, let's jump right into this video.
Well, I think you shall have your rewards.
In Diablo 2, once some players are finished getting through Hell difficulty, they like to try to complete what is called the Holy Grail, which is the act of finding every item in the game. Because of how hard it is to find certain items, you would need to make sure that your character has Magic Find, or MF, stacked on themselves, and possibly even their mercenary as well, to better the chances of set and unique items to drop. When you look at this Magic Find graph, you can see how the amount of Magic Find affects 4 different categories of items to drop, which are blue magic items, yellow rare items, green set items, and gold unique items. When it comes to magic items, when stacking Magic Find on your character, the trajectory of your Magic Find percentage goes up with no diminishing return. However, that's the only category that is affected like this. Looking at rare, set, and unique items, the amount of MF going toward them becomes less valuable as you increase the overall MF stacked on your character. When it comes to looking at the specific numbers for how much of your MF goes towards your magic, rares, sets, and uniques, this chart here helps to show the percentage that your Magic Find affects each type of item to drop. The reason so many Diablo 2 players have stated that the first 100% of your Magic Find is the most important is because when looking at the numbers, you can see that from 0 to 100%, the range from uniques being the least affected by Magic Find to the greatest being magic items varies the least. However, once you start stacking more from there, the differences in which each category of items being affected by your MF varies greatly. I can only imagine that certain people are going to look at this and go, well, it doesn't hurt to have more MF because it only helps your chances of having certain items to drop, which is very true. However, all it does is help to increase the chances for certain items to drop, whether it be, again, magics, rares, sets, and uniques. It doesn't guarantee any items to drop at all. It only just helps increase the chances for those particular types of items to drop. 2 different examples that I have for you today are, the first being from Extimus, showcasing his 1700% MF build, where looking at the numbers already shown on the screen, you can only imagine how much 1700 MF should actually go toward a set or unique item to drop, let alone any magic item at all. However, he shows a run where he kills Andariel and nothing drops. The second example I have comes from Retro Mandric, where he does 1000 pit runs with 0% MF, where anyone would be cautious to think that anything good would actually drop with 0 MF. But maybe he was rather just farming for GG bases to max out the stats with making endgame rune words. However, with his efforts, he was still able to get one of the rarest items to drop with 0% MF, Death's Web, and even shows that he has 0 MF when it is dropped. When stacking your MF, it is important to see that for even 100% of it to go towards uniques, you would have to have 175% already stacked on your character. And for some builds, with a few specific pieces of gear, can be easy to attain. But because of the diminishing return on MF on anything other than blue items, for you to be able to get 200% going towards uniques, you would need to get 1000% Magic Find stacked on your character, meaning you would only get 1/5 of your Magic Find effort stacked for your character and or mercenary to go toward the rarest items in the game to find. And that leads to the one question that so many people have, which is, how much is the right amount of MF to stack on your character? And unfortunately, there is no specific number when it comes to the right amount of MF to stack on a particular class, an area to farm, or to be able to actually get certain items to drop. Which I know at this point there's going to probably be people that are going to want to hit the dislike button for not giving a specific number. However, there is a generalized idea for how much MF is actually good when it comes to farming in general, being that it would be 250% to 400, maybe 450%. But that all depends on the one specific thing that people need to understand, which is the opportunity cost when it comes to farming. And that's going to be dependent upon the amount of MF that you can stack on your character, and also the ability to have good clear speed, good survivability, and also depending on the player's difficulty setting that you have for your character. Let me explain this. When it comes to clear speed, and if your particular character is struggling with certain areas, I would then take off any unnecessary magic find and try to equip it with either skill or grand charms, or being able to swap out for certain items that will be able to help you with better clear speed. And once your character is a lot better at clearing the area and they start to actually gain some experience and level up and be able to do more damage, you can then maybe take off any of the additional items that would be able to help with certain damage and add back your magic find in accordance to be able to help you with being able to stack your magic find and have good clear speed. Because if you are struggling with clearing, for example, the pits, and it's taking you 10 to 15 minutes, but you have a high amount of magic find, and even when it comes to your player's difficulty setting, if you are trying to farm at a very high player's difficulty with a lot of magic find, but you continuously keep dying, there's going to be no benefit to doing that versus going at a much lower player's difficulty setting, being able to stack a lot more magic find, not have to use so much when it comes to boosting your damage, because you're going to be having a lot better clear speed, especially if you're in areas that are going to have a lot of champion and boss packs, because they drop a certain amount of items no matter what. Another thing to take into consideration is the character that you have and where you choose to farm. If you are making it to where your character has an easy time to be able to get through certain areas, such as the Blizzard Sorceress when it comes to the Ancient Tunnels, because of the lack of resistances for the monsters down there, she is able to clear out the area no problem, especially if you are going on, again, players 1, just targeting the champions and boss packs and making it to where you can stack a ton of MF in place of anything that would be able to boost her damage or survivability. However, if you're doing something like what I'm doing throughout this whole video, and I'm using a Zealer when it comes to cows, that's going to make it to where it's a lot harder for you to be able to survive, and it's going to make it to where it's going to take a lot longer to clear certain areas. Therefore, you're going to be able to do a lot less runs, making it to where you're not optimizing your chances of having certain items to drop. However, I'm going to leave the rest of that topic when it comes to where to farm, who to use when farming, player's difficulty, and all that for either a different video, or you can find other YouTubers that have covered the topic already, because this is not a topic that is new. However, I felt that the idea of understanding the diminishing return when it comes to the rares, sets, and uniques is something that maybe people don't understand to the fullest. However, I hope that this video was able to clear up a lot of different ideas as far as being able to understand the diminishing return when it comes to magic finding, and also the idea for how much magic find you should be able to have on your character when it comes to weighing your opportunity cost between your magic find and your survivability and your clear speed, including your player's difficulty setting to maximize your run times with being able to find really good items. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And for any of you guys that want to know more additional information on this topic, I will leave a link in the description below for you guys to be able to use and to be able to get an even better understanding of the diminishing return when it comes to magic finding, and hopefully understand how much you should be able to use on your character when it comes to magic find versus your clear speed and survivability. If you like this video and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, be notified whenever a new video comes out. And if you liked this video in particular, please give it a like and share it to be able to help me with the YouTube algorithm to get this out to as many people as possible. Otherwise, I hope you all are staying safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.